Hey, how are you doing, YouTube family? Today I want to answer the question, how is it that I make morning worship? How do I make the morning worship videos? So you know that I am David, the digital creator, or Digital Dave. I help people as a content creator coach. And one of the things that people wonder is like, Dave, do you have a recording studio that you make your morning worship performances from? And the answer is yes and no. So let me show you what I mean. First of all, here is one of the places that I record, but not where I record usually, because usually I'm sitting at the piano. All right, so here you see there is a camera. And so if I'm doing maybe a weekend edition, this is a Sony A7R4. It's a wonderful camera. I highly recommend it. The only downside with the Sony A7R4 is it's a little less convenient, as it doesn't have the flip out screen as some of the Canons do. I also have a Canon EOS R, which I use most of the time when I'm doing morning worship because it's very convenient. In addition to the flip out screen, the app actually lets you do a little bit more than the Sony app does with the Sony cameras. Even though I've been a Sony person, I have 3 Sony cameras, but the app with the Canon is a little bit more convenient. And I'll get more into that later. But so first, I have a ring light. So if I have a basic something to do, I can put my phone in there. I can do something quick, or if it's for TikTok, I can do something vertical. But I also have the A7R4 for when I want to do something a little bit more professional looking. I have a keyboard and studio monitors and a Macbook Pro, so I'm able to do my own audio production. And I have a wonderful Shure, I think it's KSM32 microphone that does a great job. And at the time when I got it, it was one of the best mics that was more affordable. I had a couple other mics that were over $1,000, but this one was competitive with them. So I've kept this one. All right, I'm going to now go down the hall to where the magic happens. So one of my mentors, Philip Carter, he had said something about the importance of the piano sound. And so I prayed and stepped out in faith and got a piano. So here you see where we shoot morning worship. I use this device here. A lot of people wonder, why does the audio sound so good? I use the Zoom H6. It is wonderful. I use it both for my voice and the piano. I just position it so it picks up my voice in good balance with the piano, and then EQ it in post when I'm editing in Premiere Pro. Then we have a pair of lights, so I can get a main light and some fill light. And then here's the Canon EOS R that I mentioned on a tripod. So I'm really happy with what I'm able to do in terms of flexibility. But many of you wonder, well, where do I get started? And so my next video, I'm gonna tell you, okay, here's what I would do if I were just starting out for the first time. All right. I also forgot to mention that for recording audio into the computer, I'm using PreSonus Studio 2. I'm pleased with the sound, and it's been very consistent. So I would highly recommend this as well. Another aspect of the process is when I'm speaking and recording, the camera's microphone isn't that good. And so I use a separate recording device. I showed you the Zoom H6 by the piano, but when I'm here inside the studio, then I use my Shure KSM32 coming in through the PreSonus mic preamp into the MacBook Pro, and then I will sync up that audio. In this case, it will be, right now you're not listening to that being done, you're listening to the audio coming from the mic on the computer, and the camera on the computer. But in a second, I will switch so you can see what the difference is in quality. But the microphone then goes into, in this case, I'm going to record with Logic, but you could use GarageBand. That's what comes on the Mac. Or you could use Audacity or another program. But the thing is, use what you have until you can get what you want. The thing that I've discovered, and I hope that over the next several months, as we go through the process of content creating, that you'll discover that some of the best content creators, their gift, their mind, their intuition, their creativity, their attention to detail, their work ethic, these things are what sets them apart, not their gear. In fact, I'm surprised sometimes. I thought, well, you have to get the really nice cameras and then you'll be successful, when in fact, connecting with your audience is much more important than having a state-of-the-art camera. Food for thought. All right, so let me let you hear the difference between this, when we're recording through the camera built into the Macbook Pro and the microphone therein, and when we switch over to our Sony. And now you're listening to me through the computer, through the Sony A7R4 and the Shure microphone KSM32. So now hopefully you're hearing a little bit more detail and the image should look a little bit clearer. Unfortunately, it's springtime and I have allergies. And so the challenge is that some days my vocal cords are swollen and it's difficult for me to sing. So at those times, I would either show a previous episode or I, on certain days, record more than one song just in case I need one later on. So as long as I can find it, I would have an extra song to be able to share. So the glamorous side of being a content creator is that you get to spread your message around the world on your own terms. The downside is it really takes a lot of discipline and dedication, because when you don't feel well, you still have content that you have to create. And it's not like you have sick time or sick leave, right? Because you're in business for yourself. You're in ministry for yourself, whatever reason you're doing content. It really is a faith journey. You have to believe in what it is that you're doing, believe in telling your story. And so I want to encourage you to go for it and pursue your dreams passionately, but also remember it's discipline, it's hard work. So make sure that in your mind you don't just focus in on an unrealistic view of what it takes to be a content creator. I want to prepare you for what you will need to do to be successful. All right, so I am tired and my voice is tired, and so I'm going to continue with you on the next video, and we're going to get deeper specifically into, all right, so what do I do if everything I have is my cell phone? How do I create content that way? Then after that, we'll look at what would the next level up be, and then what would the next level up be from there. I'm going to encourage you to make use of what you have. My mentor in audio engineering and production, Greg Lukens, used to tell me, I guess he used the word as the old man used to say to the young engineer, fiddle with it some more. Greg was the vice president at Washington Professional Systems and sold audio gear to many people. And he had even, though he was blind, he designed several amplifiers, preamplifiers. He's a Grammy Award winning. So I was very fortunate to have Greg as a mentor. And one thing that he was trying to get me to understand was, well, learn how to use what you have a little bit better, and you may be surprised at what you can do. Of course, when I would go over to his house and we would mix things together, he had a $40,000 pair of monitors. So the speakers that I showed you, I don't know if they're $800 for a pair nowadays, but $40,000. When I listened to his speakers, literally, it felt as though the sound was like a big orb where you could hear in detail each thing that was going on. I mean, far superior than any other listening situation I'd ever been to. And when he said that, I finally got it, because when you start to hear frequencies and understand what the different ones do, whether you're listening on the $40,000 pair or the $800 pair, or whether you're listening on a pair of headphones, you start to understand what needs to happen. And you can do it regardless of which tool you have. You just do a slightly different version of it. So know that if you have a dream and a vision to create content, you can use the tool that you have to get started. All right. I am Digital Dave, David, the digital creator who loves you and wants you to succeed in following your dreams. I wish you love, peace, and I hope that the next time we get together, my voice will feel a little bit better and I'll be able to share a little bit more. All right. Take care. Until next time. Bye.